Hey everyone, today we will talk about Rivaul and Gozza, and on the another video we'll talk about this new DC hidden abilities, so I don't confuse you too much, so let's just dive right into it. But first I would like to say thank you to my new subscribers, as always. Those are FP channel, Edgar Sanchez, Zadi, Captain Tsubasa and Lorenzo Capasso. Thank you guys very much. Okay, so Gozza. He has an awesome team skill, we already know that. He has full body stand as a passive. So I just say that right at the bat. Full body stand is more useful on the forward and on the keeper. Because on the central forward you do only one thing, you only shoot and that's that. On the goalkeeper you are always on a matchup, so basically when your stamina is there, your passive is always activated because you're always in the matchup. But very big part of the defenders and defensive midfielders are out of duel interceptions. If he is not in a matchup, full body stand is not activated because it's only activated on skills. So on white intercept, no. So he has a high intercept. He has a good intercept, but not good enough so he wouldn't be in danger of somebody passing the ball over him. So it wouldn't be so hard today for a midfielder to white pass the ball over him. One thing that would help him in that situation is recovery, but he didn't get it, so we won't talk about that. He did get non-Japanese all players stats 1%, while the older Gozza has only European players. He did get 3% reduction to stat handicap to all non-Japanese players, which is also more versatile than the limited Gozza, where limited Gozza has 5% shield. And while the old Gozza has tenacity and attack at the scene of fire, which is a total opposite of full body stand, they work completely differently. And I wouldn't say that he is a food for that Gozza or that other Gozza is food for him. Every one of those two is great defender and will serve you a lot, because the old Gozza has stats down for the opponent, so that's -5% to all European players, which is awesome. This Gozza doesn't have any of stats down hidden abilities. If we completely ignore the old Gozza on his hidden abilities and see this one, this is an awesome defender. And if you see his stats, tackle no, block intercept is good, but the main star of the show here is full body stand, his passive, where you can see that his total strength without passive is really mediocre, but full body stand is kind of easier to maintain than attack at the scene of fire. But attack at the scene of fire is awesome if you add tenacity to it, and the older Gozza has tenacity, so both of those guys have awesome hidden abilities that work great. This guy has, for example, block 1 dribble special skill of your matchup opponent 70% of the time. So because he is higher on block and intercept and basically doesn't have a tackle skill, 70% of the time you won't even need it. And the other 30% of the time, chances are that you will bully them with your block or intercept if your stamina is high. Because look at this, his block is 57k on full body stand activated full passive. So just to put into perspective, Dreamfest Gentile is 56k. So he is stronger on full passive than Dreamfest Gentile. And his intercept is 61.7k. That's almost 62, while the Dreamfest Cults has 63.7k on full passives activated, so pedal to the metal is activated there, and that's crazy. A lot of the times, even when you don't block your opponent's dribble, whatever he does, if you choose block or intercept, mainly intercept because intercept is stronger, you will manage to bully your opponent, and not so hard really. He has a really great total strength on the block and the intercept. So this is his power when you lost half of your stamina, and which is not too bad, but at this stage he will not be so powerful, that's obvious. But because he has a blocked one dribble special skill, you could always guess what your opponent's gonna do if he doesn't have, let's say, a good 1-2, or even if he doesn't have 1-2. Basically you can bully them still. Block the shoot will be quite tougher at this stage, but he will still manage to block some. He will not be completely useless. Okay, so I return the stats just like they were before. So this is his full stamina. Basically, if you have a good defensive midfielder line, and I'm kind of thinking that with this guy in the central defense position, you will need two defensive midfielders on one or one totally OP one, because they will kind of serve as a shield for this guy, so he isn't too tired. So if he is too tired, he will become kind of difficult to use. He could be useful on the side too, because very rarely they do wide intercepts or whatnot. They will most of the time be in a matchup, so he could be more useful on the side. Most of the side attackers or wing forwards have a high dribble or pass. So basically 70% of the time you will block Gozza, that German. I will call him Gaethje because I love Gaethje from the UFC MMA fighter, the high baller German dribbler, so very easy counter him 70% of the time. If you have a good defensive midfielder line, all around good defense, I don't see why you can't play this guy in the middle. But if you are too dependable on him and him alone, he will let you down a couple of times. Especially when he is out of stamina. That's where the other Gozza is better. But both of them are really awesome. I'm happy that he is toughness defender, because Euro Red needs toughness players, and this guy is it. This guy is awesome. This guy can serve you right. Like if you see toughness Red Euro, it's pretty easy to play this guy in the middle, because up front, if you use two defensive midfielders, you have Kaltz, Dreamfest, and you have Klinsmann, DC. So that's pretty much okay, and he will not be so much used because your defense is pretty awesome with those two guys in front of him, so he will be guarded by them. That's all you need to save this guy some stamina. And take into consideration that he is good on high balls, which means that he will, on top of his stats that are already obnoxiously high when he is on full stamina, will be 12.5% higher. So all of those Margus players, Kluivert or every high baller will have a really difficult time playing against this guy. Look at his block, 64k. I'm psyched that Euro Red finally got some satisfaction on the defense side. If it's like non-Japanese players 2% stats up, then I would like kick Robson out. But Robson still gives 4% to all Red Euro, so even him will be stronger by 4% if Robson is there. So that's kind of something that I will leave to you. Some players that play Euro Red like to use Robson. Other guys say it's not worth it to play him. This is an awesome defender, and Red Euro got it, so I'm psyched. Okay, so now we will talk about Rivaul. So this is attacking midfielder forward player from Catalonia, Brazil. He is an S-type player, skill, and he is in the regular gacha. So I don't know what to say about this guy. He has an awesome team skill, passive skill. I already told you that my opinion of hotlines, I think it's kind of very limiting, and it's gonna be hard to activate it. I don't know if I should talk about this guy very much, because he's not very good. He has that hard passive to activate. Okay, let's say it's easy to activate. Even if you do activate it, 65k, That's not something that's like so powerful. It is good. He will manage to score against some, let's say, agility keepers, like weaker agility keepers. I don't know if he will be able to score against Ken. I'm not so sure about it. He's pretty limited by his poor skills. He has a good dribble. So his dribble, it's not very good and it's not awesome. It's good, it will bring you some success, but not much. This guy is like, he's just food. He's just food for his Revolve turn, nothing else. So I don't know if I should talk about this guy anymore because I don't see the use in it. I really don't. This guy is not good. For amateurs, for the early stage of online, he will be good. Like all SSRs are good at that point, but no, I wouldn't be happy if I got this guy. I would be like pretty mad if I got him. Rivaul gets shafted again by club, so whatever. If you like this video, like it. If you didn't like it, fuck it, right? Let's talk in the comments below. What do you think about these players? If you do agree with me, say something. If you don't agree with me, say something too. Say you're dumb, you know no shit, or something like that. Subscribe if you like it. If you wanna support me, you can on the Patreon. It's linked down in the description, and it's basically cheaper than a pack of gum, so whatever. It's not a bad buy, yeah. Keep a cool mind and closed pocket. See you later. Bye, take care.